Hi everyone, Lisa Oliver, author here, and got a really awesome thing I want to talk about today. What do you do when you get to the end of your book? I did it. I typed the end. 82 book, and that still feels amazing. Hi everyone. Sorry I'm a bit late with this week, but I wanted to talk to you about something that came up when I was talking to another author the other day. The whole, what do you do when you've typed the end? For me, it's really simple. I send my book immediately to the editors. I have 2 at the moment. And then I start working on the cover, teasers, and all that sort of carry on. But for a lot of authors, well, for some authors, particularly new authors, they get to the end and then they can't let go. This happened particularly with a new author friend of mine that I was talking to the other day. And she was saying she's been working on her book for over 2 years, which is amazing. It's commendable. You know, she's done almost 100,000 words. All credit to her. That is a huge, huge achievement. And I'm so proud of her. It's a really amazing thing to have happen. And when you type the words, the end, that is, you get this huge sort of, oh wow, happy dance. I don't happy dance very well, not in front of other people, but you know, you happy dance, it's a really good time, right? But for my poor friend, all she was worried about, she started thinking. And that's just the problem. She started overthinking. Oh, but what about this in chapter XYZ? Oh, if I went back and tweaked this. Oh, I'm not really sure. What if I changed this and this didn't happen, but that should have happened instead? And blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, it would have been another year at least before my new friend had turned around and submitted her book to an editor. She could not let go. It turned out the book itself had been written in about 3 months, which is wonderful. But the rest of the time had been taken up with tweaking. My friend Phil will tell you, I have a real thing against tweaking. I honestly believe it doesn't hurt to tweak a word here or there, but you don't take out entire chapters, entire paragraphs, or things like that, unless you've had a major flaw. But for the most cases, you sit, you write, you get to the end, you type the end, and for self-published authors, then you send it to your editor, editors, how many, doesn't matter. Tick off all the boxes of those things that all self-published authors have to do to get their book ready for publication. And then you sit down, open a new document, and start the next book. That is how you make money as a self-published author. You keep writing the next book. I do understand, particularly for new authors, and don't get me wrong, every single book I've written is my baby. Every single book I've written, I have wanted to be perfect. Every single book I've written hasn't been perfect, but my readers have enjoyed them because they make them smile or laugh and occasionally cry. And with virtually every book I've written, somebody will write to me and say, I really could have smacked, MC number 2 around the head because he was being such an ass. That's the sort of books I write. Those are the sort of readers I've got, and I love writing for them. None of this would happen. Actually, sorry, I have to go back a bit. And as I'm not very good at editing, this blooper thing will probably be in here, but never mind. I make a full-time living as a writer for self-publishing books, right? That's the whole point of this channel. I am one of those examples of somebody who sits at home in whatever she wants to wear and taps out words every single day, damn near, and makes a living from my books. You can look me up on Google. Lisa Oliver author. You can look me up on Amazon, Lisa Oliver. It's my name, it's who I am. And you will see I have well over 80 books in the paranormal romance section. I write about my men falling in love. It's what I adore. It's been a passion of mine for 8 years. And as I say, I'm fairly sure it's 81 or 82 books in my backlist. Although I think the one I just finished was my 82nd book in 8 years. There are a lot of people who, when they hear those numbers, they'll say, oh, it must be rubbish. The work must be crap. You can't write that hard, that fast, and maintain, literary standards. I don't have literary standards. I write stories, fun, romantic, sexy stories about fun, romantic, sexy men, and I make my readers laugh and smile and cry and they want to bang their heads on their Kindles sometime. I make them feel. But every single time when they get to the last page, they smile, because that's what I do in my stories. And that's not literary. I don't aim to be famous. None of my books will ever be picked for film or TV. It doesn't matter, because I am actually making a living with what I enjoy. And sorry, I have gotten off track here. I was talking about tweaking, but there is a point in that. I don't have time to tweak. When I first started writing paranormal stories, I was putting out a book every single month. I've got a bit older, I've got a bit tireder, and I do try and let my backlist do a bit of the hard work for me now. So I believe last year I put out, I think it was 8 new English titles, and then I put out, I think it was 3 or 4 French titles, 3 or 4 German titles, a couple of Spanish titles, and I also had, I think I had 10 or 12 books narrated for audio as well. So you see, I'm reusing my content. It's not just a case of, write your book once and that's it. I will do another video on how you can repurpose your content. But yeah, so that was my output last year. That came from working 7 days a week, probably 10 to 12 hours a day. I literally last year did not have any other life. Thank COVID, thank lockdown, thank whatever, it doesn't matter. I literally really did not do anything else last year except work on my books, on my stories. I really didn't have anything else. And this year I'm not seeing it being much different unless Omicron just disappears in a puff of smoke, which I don't believe it will. So, I'm expecting to do this again this year. I couldn't do any of this if I tweaked. Because of what I do, I make a very handsome income. I have a small, very small, but extremely loyal audience. Huge bunch of friends and family, and, well, actually, no, my family don't read my books, but friends, my reader friends and author friends who read my books. And that is the only income I make every month. It's from Amazon. Amazon Smashwords and Findaway Voices. But, from my books, that's how I make my money. That's how I live. If I spent months tweaking, polishing, revamping, restructuring, pulling bits out, putting bits in, and scratching my head over my book, if I didn't trust myself, I wouldn't make enough money to live. So to be a successful self-published author, you have to trust yourself. And when you type the end, You send that book immediately to the editors editors you have already arranged for or booked in, and then you stop thinking about that story and you start thinking about your next one. Because honestly, my friends, that is the only way you are going to make a living out of being a self-published author. Incidentally, might as well do a tiny bit of promo. My latest release is Brutus's Surprise, which you can find on Amazon. As I say, just look for Lisa Oliver. And that book I just showed you the end for, that's called Better Than Sweets, and that'll be out on March the 6th. So now I've done my little bit of marketing promo, and I've actually done some writing today, and I've done this because I care about you guys. Remember, hug the ones you love. And if you've got any questions at all about how to be, about your own author career, then there's plenty of ways to get in touch with me. So please make sure you do. Loves you, bye.